It's been a rough 24 hours for anybody holding XRP. And while a lot of people are panicking, I'm just buying more. Yesterday, I had one of my trades open up at about $2.71, closed it at $2.80. Just now, I realized the XRP structure, the very bullish structure, has actually not been broken. And for the most part, all we're waiting for is for XRP to make a nice bounce off of this low. And as long as Bitcoin also participates, it's going to be absolutely crazy. And you know the target still for XRP is about $4.60. And everything in the meantime, every single thing in the meantime, is what we call clutter. Or just basically waiting for the next big thing to happen. Now, I've got a nice little update for you in case you've been watching the videos for a while. And especially if you are using my XRP trading strategies, which again, not finished advice, but in case you are, things have been really interesting the past 24 hours. Because on the one hand, you might not be loving it, right? P&L wise, we're down a pretty crazy penny. But when you start breaking down the amount of trades that we've done over the past 24 hours, take a look at this, 100,000 XRP we are buying right now. If we take a look at transactions, 400 transactions-ish, all of about 0.5 XRP each. Let's say we made about 200 XRP over the past 24 hours. This number was a bit higher, but that basically means we got ourselves like what? $600 we made just on this one bot in 24 hours, but it's an XRP, so it's actually pretty huge, right? Look at this, right? 70 days and we're up a ton, but the majority of this investment was only done later. But more importantly, actually, this is a side note. Solana, actually, let's see here real quick. I make about 0.004 SOL each transaction about 900 times. I'm going to say we made about 4 Solana or so, let's say 3.7 Solana over the past 24 hours on this trade right here. Yes, we're down tremendously, but as I said before, as long as you've got the margin to cover it, which in this case I have, and it can always add more, it's just a better yield than what any other platform would have gotten me. And theoretically speaking, there are a couple of ways to rewrap your SOL where you put SOL in like some like 𝗕𝗁'', 𝗕𝗓𝗁 or something like that. But specifically when it comes to XRP, since there are not as many DeFi options, specifically not many of those like rewrapping where you get an APY on top of APY on top of APY, trading it in this sense for me has been the most profitable way. And that is again, here's also the main XRP bot here. That's all in preparation for XRP to make that absolutely massive move. Again, this is all, we're all patiently waiting. And a lot of you guys have got even more, oh, it's a bit dark here, I'm noticing here. There we go. A lot of you guys have got even more patience than I have. Because at the end of the day, I'm still going out and doing crazy things. I'm not holding on to just only crypto. Matter of fact, look what we bought today. All right, let me quickly put my face in it. So we got ourselves today a nice little, oh, let me put it up for y'all. All right, there we go. We got a nice little new watch. Some of you guys may only tune in for the crypto updates. Some of you guys may also tune in for the life. So let me just quickly show you. Here we go. It is a platinum or a Rolex platinum day date with some nice baguette diamonds. Now, as you may know from all my other watches, I've got a few in front of me here. Like this one, for example. Let's quickly see that right there we go. Or the golden one. I'm not really into diamonds. None of my watches here have diamonds at all. But here's the fun thing. I still think that even though your portfolio may not be at the all-time high, mine was a little bit ago, there's still almost always time to celebrate. And as long as you've got the liquidity to just keep yourself afloat through turbulent times, and I'm always prepared for it to go even worse, I still think that XRP going from like 50 cents to now $3 almost, right? Or Bitcoin going from 70K previous high, but extremely low in the bottom, and then towards like 120,000, now 110. These are still times where you can reward yourself. For me, it's a bit different. I don't have to sell my crypto to buy cool items. I don't have to sell my crypto to buy cars or anything like that. I still have enough liquidity to go and do that. But there's an opportunity cost. If I'm buying, a couple $100,000 worth of watches, which I've recently done here, I could have also taken that money and put it to buy even more crypto. And that's always a difficult choice. But when I look back on it, and this is what I always tell people, there's two main rules I nowadays follow. One, it's to keep liquid. It's to make sure your money keeps flowing, otherwise you get too attached. In previous runs, I look at my portfolio every single day, I get attached to the number. The moment coins fall by a lot, it hurts. It's preferable to either keep stacking coins or dollars, better to choose one or have two separate strategies, and just focus on accumulating, not so much as what the total value is worth, in this is my opinion, in dollars, but more so in either coins or making some sort of progress, because these setbacks like the market falling like this, you will always have. But also, so that point number one is keep it liquid. Point number two is to have gradual reward systems. If I always keep stacking, eventually I'll have $1 billion, right? Let's just say. I mean, I'm pretty confident, but we're not necessarily that close. But regardless, I have $1 billion. And then what? I mean, let's say your whole life was kind of like miserable. Again, this is relative terms, right? I'm going to do a little bit of yapping here. Let's say your whole life was miserable. Now you're old, you've got all your money, but you never got to do anything fun. That's why I always say, if you're younger, but in my opinion, young, still if you're 55, you're very freaking young, but that's me. To do a lot of fun stuff, that is. I guess depends a bit on your condition, but regardless, it in my opinion is worth it to do a lot of fun stuff or have cool items or have cool things that make you either happy or help in some way, shape, or form, or that keep their investment value, that may also then give you pleasure. Purely to have some sort of sense of accomplishment, because another $100,000 here, depending on how big your portfolio is not going to matter that much. Let's say you had a $10,000 and you've made another 45 bucks. Well, it's a lot of money, maybe 45 to a lot of people, sure. But to the whole $10,000 stack, that 45 plus or less, it's not going to make that much of a difference. Whereas if that had been an item you really wanted for a long time, maybe the value in that was actually a lot more than just adding it on top of the stack and stacking and stacking and stacking. And again, this is coming from somebody that has 98% of his net worth in crypto. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't buy much at all. Maybe I stack these coins like a maniac because I still see some crazy like this happening not too long from now. And of course, I know that XRP could have a nice little move back to $2.30, and it's going to be some freaking carnage, even if we already hit just like $2.40. But the nice thing is, I've got a nice reward system in place. This XRP bot, for example, it cashes out depending on the volatility. But so here you can see over the past, I'm going to say 4 or 5 months, we were already able to cash out $30,000 just on a 50K bot. And the nice thing there, in my opinion, is I can kind of hopefully keep this running forever. And as long as it can never get wrecked and I could just keep updating my range, it's just like a passive income XRP machine. And I love it all the way. And this is all just, again, waiting for XRP to pop up. But more importantly, and this is what a lot of people pointed out, what if it doesn't? Or what if it takes a long time? At least I've got systems in place to always keep gridding. And all the links for this are down below, by the way. It's Pionex that I'm doing the bots over on. And the reason I keep covering it almost every single day is because I've never found a better system. I just haven't. As long as you're playing this smart, and there's a whole Discord, by the way, if you want to learn more, there is nothing better you can do in the meantime. If you're a really skilled trader, sure, you can always try buy, sell, just like I did now in 𝗬𝗓𝗃, buying 271, selling 280, and trying that. But basically what happened there is I placed orders before when I was making a video, and those orders got executed without me knowing. But as I always say, time in the markets definitely beats timing the markets. Even now, I think if we're looking at all these prices, it's relatively low for where we're eventually headed. All they got to do is just stack up, but I prefer if it can also grid out some profits while we stack and wait. It's been a turbulent 24 hours, all right? I admit that. It's been very, very interesting to watch, to say the least. But I want y'all to remember what we're doing it for. Remember what we're waiting for. We have not come here for 20% gains, 40% gains, 90% gains. It's cool and all, but it's not what we've come here for. And as long as this market gains its hype back, its momentum back, and as long as you're taking advantage of the random opportunities and plays that are left and right, like just now Aster, perhaps now Plasma, but that one was a little bit more easily missable, but just the opportunities that are there to supplement your main holdings, even if you sell all those off. As long as you can supplement your main holdings or get some liquidity to buy the dip in case one is presented to you. It's going to be a very, very interesting couple of months. Anyway, give me a rating down below. What are we thinking? What was the number y'all giving it? If you can't see it perfectly, check out my Instagram. I posted a video on there as well. And maybe y'all don't like it at all these items and stuff. I get it. But I'm so freaking excited. I wanted to share it in a video, I just, I never have that. The last thing I bought, I was like, oh, nice. But today, I really felt happy. It's still, to me, even with all these schmeckles, it's still something really, really cool. Anyway, hope you guys have a wonderful day. And it's just a patience game. That's all. And if you're feeling sad going through it, just realize we're all here together. My portfolio is red, brother. Matter of fact, I don't want to open it right now. But I know my numbers. I know I'm comfortable. I know I'm chilling. I can wait until we get to those better days. It's okay, as long as we are patient.